Hey guys, I'm back. I finished up 4 more little golden books to put in the shop. So I'm gonna try to, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip through these two first, because these are both baby books, and then these are just every day, or if you wanna, if you love puppies, or if you have a little boy, or, these can be used really for anything. And these are baby. They're not real baby-ish, but they are intended to be baby books. So I'm going to set these aside for now, and I'm going to go through these two first. So they all have 4 signatures. They all have 100 pages, so that gives you 200 spots. Some of them give or take well, they all have 100 plus pages. I think some of them have a few more than that, maybe 103, 4 pages. So that gives you 200 spots. But that also includes the entire story. Book is in it. And they have the charms and the scrappy ties and all the stuff that I've been doing on my golden books. I'll go through when Bunny grows up first, and this is intended to be a baby boy book. And this scrappy tie is, all of this came from quilt, and I think some of it is feed sack fabric, but it was they're all quilt pieces on these scrappy ties. And then the charm on this one has the buttons and the game pieces, a couple of game pieces, one of the vintage dominoes, and I actually spelled out baby and put some of the vintage wood beads. The colored beads are vintage, and some glass beads and things like that. I like the way the charm turned out. And then there's a little ladybug button on this one. And this is another quilt fabric that is stitched in. I stitched all the way around the book, and I stitched through the book on this. And yep, they're all like that. Now, a little disclaimer, couple of these, my sewing machine was kind of giving me a fit. So if you can see on this, the stitching is a little wonky in places, but I think it adds to the character of the book. And I actually had to pull the stitching out and go over it again so you can see where some of my little holes were. But it's not super, I don't think it takes away from the book. Just adds more character to it. You can definitely tell it's homemade. And this one is, let's see. This one says it's a 1955 copyright date, but I'm not sure. It looks like a little bit newer version because it had the skew on the back. So I'm a little confused about that, but that's what it says in the book. And then this one did have that this book belonged to Mrs. Patterson. I just left that. You can cover it up if you want to with a pocket or something. I just left it. And on the inside is some more quilt fabric, or quilt top fabric that's vintage. And then I put this really nice sort of fuzzy rickrack on the front and the back. I just like that. I think it added something to it. And signed by me in the back. And then there was some more writing up here, so I just took some little quilt pieces and stitched the quilt pieces, but then I glued it to the book. But this is a super cute little book. I just found out that my other son, I'm going to be a grandmother again, and he and Kelly and Brittany, Kelly is my youngest son, are having a baby boy. I just found out this weekend. So I've almost kept this one for myself, but I have so many books, it's just ridiculous. So I'm sure I can find something else. I got plenty of stuff. So use the same stuff that I normally do, which is Richard Scarry. There's cardstock. There's some like flyleaf pages from the Childcraft books, children's writing paper, scrapbook paper, and then the stories stitched in this way, so you can read the story, or you can always cut these pages out and fussy cut them, or whatever you want to do. This is from a vintage large, The Little Engine That Could book. And then there's a couple of pages like this. It's like a little pocket, and I did put a little baby tag in here. And just a mixture of all the stuff I normally like to use. This is a Peter Pan page from I think this is one of the Golden Book Encyclopedia storybooks. They have stories and other stuff in there. Vintage graph paper. You know, the same sort of stuff. I'm not gonna say every little thing. Again, these are very flexible and they lay very flat. So this is the end of the first signature. This is the second signature. This is from a really cool music around, I think it's called Music Around the World, or Music Around the Town, or something that I found at my favorite store a while back, and I finally took it apart and I used some of it in here, and it was from the 40s, and it's just got really, really cool. The music's kind of funny. Some of the music's really funny, and then really cool illustrations. This is from another Mother Goose book. It's kind of the glossy pages. And then this is the the hidden paper clip in here. So this is one side with the little bunny, and I used a little vintage index card and just some little scrap pieces. And this is a die cut from Pretty Little Studio. And then on the back is an envelope that opens up like that, and this just ties back around. So that goes on here like that. And then you can put, this little tag comes with it, but it, you know, stuff fits up underneath there really nicely. You'll get a little extra pack of goodies, like I do with all of my journals. You'll get an extra pack of goodies in here. This is from a really big Rand McNally book. I've been using those pages up. Little boy with the flowers. I think that story might be called, I don't know if that was Johnny and the Birds or if it was something else. Dictionary. Middle of this signature, I made some pockets and I put the buttons in the middle of the signature. This is like a deli paper, calligraphy paper, graph paper, scrapbook paper. You know, all the same stuff I like to use. This is the other side of that really cool music book page called Jumping Rope. And then that's the middle of the book. This is the third signature. So this is a little more babyish with the little critters on it. But I didn't make it, like I didn't make it, you know, super baby, but it is intended to be a little baby book, and, you know, more likely for a little boy, because in here it says baby boy. And I put a little wooden heart button and a little red vintage button in the middle of that. I did make a little, made a few pockets a while back out of an old Bambi book and like a grocery bag, and I just stuck this in here. I think this is really cute. This is Mama and Bambi and little Thumper there. So I just clipped it in so you could put it wherever you wanted to. Another little pocket, little half pocket page. And then that's the end of the third signature. This is the fourth. I'm trying to do this quickly so you can see what's in here, but not like take forever. So this is another page from one of the Childcraft books. This is a vintage ledger. This is from another, I think this might be a Richard Scarry storybook. Here is a pocket, and then one of my pocket embellishments, pocket page embellishments. I just clipped it in so you could move it, and it's got a little alteration tag. I just folded it up because it's a little bit shorter pocket so that it fits in there nicely. I love this little boy with the little baby chicks. It's cute. So tons and tons of space in here. Lots of really beautiful vintage book pages, including the book. tried to add just a lot of fun stuff. Love this page this was from a large, I can't ever remember the name of this book, Scuffy the Tugboat. And I love this playful image right here. So I made this so you could make it into an envelope if you wanted to. You could just glue this part down, or you can just use it like this. But I didn't put any buttons in the middle of that. This is just a really, really cute little book. I love the actual book, and I like the way it turned out with the colors and just all the fun stuff in here. There's lots of blank space for you to write, lots of places to put pictures. I didn't add a ton of pockets and stuff. I figured I'd let you do that yourself. You know, very flexible. You can see it's very flexible spine. It's just, you know, just full of fun stuff. And then in the packets, I'll show you just, so with each book, you're going to get a couple of little handmade tabs that I've already made. So this one has like a little bear, and I just stitched some, this is like a little flannel fabric, and it's on the back of like, I don't know if it's old muslin or sheet. I just took what scraps I had, and then a little quilt piece, and then a little raccoon. So there's 3 little tabs that are already made for you, and then a Peter Rabbit card that's been made into a tag in each one. This little quilt piece that came from some pieces of quilt that Jessica sent me a while back, and I thought I would add one in each little extra goodie pack. So that's in there, and then there's a bunch of extra goodies in here. There's library cards and there's flashcards, another alteration tag, just fun stuff and scraps left over from the book, and then some extra things. There's an envelope, and you know, there's extra things that didn't make it into the books when I was making them. So I put those in there and added this stuff, and I will probably add some more scrap fabric. I just haven't done that part yet, but so that is when Bunny grows up. And then Mother Goose did the same kind of tie. You know, tried to keep the colors. I didn't pay too much attention and be too crazy about colors, but I did try to get colors that were in like sort of the covers, you know. So that's the scrappy towel on this one, and then the charm on this one also has the vintage domino, vintage dice, another vintage domino, vintage buttons, and the wooden beads, and then the glass beads, and then there's baby on this one as well. There's a little turtle and a little heart and a little tiny square button down here. The charms really turned out really cute. And then I did the same little sort of little fabric pieces up here, and then added the buttons. And then down here I just used a little scrap, another little scrap that I stitched of the quilt, and added 3 more little buttons down here. So I tried to do them similar but not exactly the same. 4 signatures, another piece of the quilt for the binding, and then inside I used the same piece of quilt top on the inside of this one as I did the bunny one. And then there's just some vintage blue rickrack there, and then here in the back, okay? And then I signed it, and then this is the pack of goodies that comes with this. Now this one didn't have any writing in it. I think the bunny, I think when Bunny Grows Up was the only one that had writing in here. This one is a 1952 version of this particular Mother Goose book. I think it will also make a very cute baby boy book. So here is the hidden paper clip in this one. So this is a little, I don't remember where I got this image, but I sort of backed it on a light piece of chipboard. I've had it in my stash for a while, and then I just made this little sort of cluster, and then the back of this one is the envelope with the heart. Okay, so it just goes on the top of the page. This one's kind of tight, so stuff will fit in there really well and hold. You know, the same kind of stuff. All the pages are in here. So this is a Mother Goose, so it's all the little, it's nursery rhymes. You know, hey diddle diddle, all that good stuff. Richardson, some tea-dyed paper. This came from a large book as well, the Friendly book. It was a larger golden book, and I made this so it can be like an envelope, or you can, you know, glue it together and tuck things in. You know, make it the envelope, or you can use it like this. I know I get, start babbling and not making sense when I do these videos. So like Little Betty Blue, Deedle Deedle Dumpling, Jack Sprat, Little Jack Horner, all those are in here. This is another from that really old songbook for kids, the Vintage Ledger, the Little Engine That Could book, and that is into the first signature. Just really cool, nice little pocket here. This was from a, this was from one of the Childcraft books. There is some writing on here where somebody made him a bigger smiley face. Another vintage, really old, like from the 40s, little workbook. This was a vintage craft book. This was another, I think it's Peter Pan on one side, Robin Hood on the other. Another one of the Scuffy pages. Ledger. Or graph paper. It's vintage graph paper, not ledger paper. Some of the deli paper. Just super fun little books. Lots of room. Lay really flat. Lots of room to grow. Lots of blank space to work with. I thought they turned out really cute. I am happy with them. I'm very happy with this set of little golden books. And this was, so this was from a Richardson book as well. I really tried to keep, I really tried to make them very colorful. This is one of the pocket pages or pocket embellishments that I made out of, this is an old music page from an old kids music book, and then this has the tag not folded up because this was a bigger pocket, and this was Tom Tom the Piper's Son, and this was from a really old vintage small, the little smaller books like the Telltale books. I love this little image, and I just since the image was down here, I just put the little banner and the little buttons up here, and this is vintage quilt pieces up here. So I just clip that in so you can move it wherever you want. This is from that big Mother Goose book. Look at the pigs riding in the car. Cracks me up. And then this is the end of the third signature, beginning of the fourth. And I like this whole image like this, so I wanted to sort of keep it that way. So I put it in that way. Another little pocket. Several of these little half pockets in here. Another one of those Childcraft fly leaf pages, and just tons and tons of fun space to make this into your own, and I'm really working on giving you embellishments and giving you things to play with, but not doing all the embellishing for you, but giving you a good start and a good base. So that is Mother Goose. Okay, let me see where I am on time. And I'm gonna make this part 1 of this series of videos, because it just takes, I don't want you to have to sit through a really long videos. It's 20 minutes already. So that's these two. And then I will be back. I will be back with part 2 in just a few minutes. And try to load these videos back to back and show you the other 2. Okay? Thank you guys for stopping by, and I hope you like these. Please, if you're not a subscriber and you like what you see, please subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever you prefer. And let me know what you think. And as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.